I rise today in strong support of the manager's amendment. Before I begin, I want to thank Chairman Graves, Ranking Member Larson, and the outstanding team on transportation and infrastructure for their tireless work on this bipartisan worded bill in general, and for including several priorities that are so important to the state of New Jersey and the United States of America, and particularly to coastal communities across this great country. First, I'm glad to see the inclusion of language to address one of the most persistent challenges facing our coast, hot spot erosion. For years, the Army Corps has watched places like the north end of Atlantic City, where we continue placing millions of cubic yards of sand on our beaches, only to watch much of it washed away later, literally in the same season. This is not a long-term solution. It's an expensive cycle that costs taxpayers millions of dollars while still leaving communities vulnerable and not curing the situation. The language included in the manager's amendment ensures the Corps can fully evaluate the engineering solutions needed to address these chronic erosion problems so we fix the underlying cause. Instead of simply replacing the same sand over and over and over again. This means better protection for our communities and significant savings for taxpayers over the long term. That's a great combination. The manager's amendment also helps protect one of New Jersey's greatest historic treasures, the East Point Lighthouse, by expanding the ongoing Morris River feasibility study to include the lighthouse and surrounding shoreline erosion. The Corps can evaluate long-term solutions to preserve this irreplaceable piece of America's maritime history before we lose it and it's too late. I've been working for years with my friend and colleague, Congresswoman Dina Titus, to address dam safety, and I'm very happy to see our Dams Act, including in the underlying bill. I know she is as well. It's also great to see an additional provision included in the manager's amendment that directs FEMA to evaluate how high-hazard potential dam projects are prioritized. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious business, and it's important for the safety of our nation. Communities deserve confidence that limited resources are being directed where they will provide the greatest absolute benefit to public safety. Hearing directly from the states and identifying ways to improve that process is just simply good, efficient government. Finally, I appreciate the inclusion of my provision with my friend Congresswoman Laura Gillen to study the creation of a coastal storm risk management trust fund. We need an ultimate cure and a real solvable situation, I believe, if we do it the right way. Our coastal infrastructure is our first line of defense, protecting homes, businesses, critical infrastructure, and local economies. We need a dedicated, reliable funding, permanent funding source. Let me put that word in there, permanent funding source to strengthen these projects before disaster strikes, not after disaster strikes. Mr. Chairman, this manager's amendment reflects exactly what WRDA should be about: practical solutions, fiscal responsibility, real infrastructure, stronger infrastructure, safer communities, and preserving the places that define our nation. Again, I thank Chairman Graves, Ranking Member Larson, my legislative partners, Reps Titus and Gillen, and the committee staff for all the amazing hard work they do and for their partnership, all of us together. I strongly urge my colleagues to support the manager's amendment. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back.